Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trumpet Daily. As you know, America's southern border is currently overwhelmed with a record number of illegal immigrants, many of them children from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. As we've been covering, the weak immigration policies of America's government have only encouraged children from these countries to continue coming to America in the hopes that they too will be granted amnesty, as so many of their predecessors have been. One tragic side effect of this crisis is the newfound strategy for adults hoping to take advantage of America's lax immigration laws. Simply bring a child along to help you through the immigration process. In addition to the 52,000 children that have flooded America since October, Border Patrol officers have also apprehended a record 39,000 adults with children attempting to cross the border illegally. Family cases or single adults who have children with them are just treated differently than a lone adult would be, which further contributes to the chaos of backlogged cases and overcrowded facilities that is now America's southern border. This is a result of a little-known executive action that President Barack Obama signed in August 2013 that instructs immigration officers not to detain or deport immigrants with children. The Family Interest Directive, as it's called, asks ICE agents and immigration officers to use prosecutorial discretion when dealing with immigrant parents or legal guardians with minor children. This is a quote from the House Judiciary Committee Chairman, Bob Goodlatte, last year after that action. It says, President Obama has once again abused his authority and unilaterally refused to enforce our current immigration laws by directing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents to stop removing broad categories of unlawful immigrants. Now you jump forward to the current crisis. Here's what the New York Times reported on June 20th. Since there are no detention facilities for families in the Rio Grande Valley, the Border Patrol has been releasing them without bond, giving them only an order to appear in immigration court for deportation hearings and allowing them to travel to relatives living in the United States. So that's what we've been seeing all over the news in recent weeks. And as we heard with the unaccompanied children, who are also usually just given a court date, then released, and how that undoubtedly many of those cases will never ever appear in court. The same is true with many of the adults. The Obama administration has deflected criticism and accusations that its lenient immigration policies have anything to do with this recent development, blaming instead a 2008 law or the poor conditions in Central America. But when Border Patrol agents recently questioned hundreds of immigrants in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, the area that's currently receiving the most traffic, they got a very different answer. This is from Byron York just recently. It says the results showed overwhelmingly, he's talking about the report from these agents, it showed overwhelmingly that the immigrants, including unaccompanied children, were motivated by the belief that they would be allowed to stay in the United States and not by conditions in their homelands. Now, the report, which is written by border agents, stated that 95% of those interviewed said they came because they knew that they'd be allowed to stay. This is a quote from the report itself. The main reason the subjects chose this particular time to migrate to the United States was to take advantage of the new U.S. law that grants a free pass, number one, to female adult OTMs or non-Mexican immigrants traveling with minors, and then number two, the UACs. It says the information is apparently common knowledge in Central America and is spread by word of mouth and international and local media messaging, prompting many to depart for the United States within 30 days of becoming aware of these perceived benefits. Then moving along to, again, the New York Times, June 20th, many migrants told Border Patrol agents, this again is about that report, they told agents they decided to set out for the United States after hearing that it was offering some kind of entry permit. Many other migrants who asked for asylum after being apprehended have been allowed to stay temporarily, further fueling hopes that Central American women and children were receiving special treatment. And then one last quote from Breitbart. It says, the report also states that the migrants cited Univision and other outlets as having shaped their views on U.S. immigration policy. Another implication of the report is that family members already in the U.S. are encouraging the minors to come and organizing the travel with smugglers. So why are children and adults, adults with children in tow, streaming across our southern border? Well, we need only to listen to them for the answer. It's because they know they have an excellent chance of being allowed to stay. The report I just quoted from shows the perception these hopeful immigrants are operating under. For one, if you're under 18 and you're from another country other than Mexico, chances are you'll be allowed to stay. And if you're an adult currently caring for a child from one of those other countries, chances are you'll be allowed to stay. Thus, it's not only appealing for these young people to attempt the journey, despite the many dangers that they'll face along the way, but America's lax immigration laws have now also made it advantageous for immigrant adults to bring a child along as a free ticket. If you'd like to continue along with this subject, your study of this subject, make sure you become a Trumpet subscriber. We've got a new article on the immigration crisis coming out in the next issue of the Trumpet magazine, the September issue. And also, I just want to remind you about the Trumpet Weekly, which we send out to more than 25,000 email subscribers every Friday afternoon.